Hi guys, welcome to another edition of Farm with Fidel. I am so excited to meet you on this beautiful day where we are going to be talking about carrot thinning. Guys, thank you so much because this lesson hit me so hard. Please just stay tuned in as we articulate this lesson that I think can help all of us. So, this is a carrot bed where I planted my carrots, and today I've decided to thin. Thinning is that process whereby you eliminate, let me say, eliminate some of the carrots so that you can leave a good number to enable your bulb, the carrot bulb, to grow to be a good size, a considerable size. Because if you leave them as bushy as they are in their population, you are you are going to get very small carrots, which you can't eat. So thinning is that process that we eliminate. So I'm removing some of the carrots. So as I was removing, I'm actually removing the smaller carrots that haven't been doing well ever since the germination. So I'm just leaving the bigger ones. So really, this process got me thinking about what does that mean in my own life. You know, God can decide to remove some things or even some people in your life for your growth. Wow, that really hit me hard. You know, there are people that I've lost, whether by change of location or by death itself. There are things that I've lost um, by any means. But now, getting back into what happens in the carrot garden, it was all for your growth. You lost something so that you can grow. Because this carrot bed is losing a lot of carrots, so that the remaining ones can grow better. Wow. You know what? We need to embrace uh, our losses for our growth. We would know that God can actually allow you to lose uh, a loved one so that you can grow, whether spiritually or in any other way. Whether you can grow, you know, you can be removed at a certain location, or some people can be removed in your vicinity or in your sphere of influence so that you can grow financially. I've seen that happening. Did you know there are actually companies you have closed so that your company can be raised? There are people who have lost their jobs in the company so that you can be promoted. These are the realities of life that we are not ready to face at any time. In actual fact, your relative or your loved one dies so that you can grow in one of the areas. This is hard to bear, I'm telling you. This is very hard to bear. Very hard. But it is what it is. Because this is the reality of the life that we live. There are people who are removed from our lives for our growth. Isn't he a great God? Isn't he a good God who allows that to happen? Sometimes it is painful. Yes, most of the times it is painful because sometimes we develop the dependence syndrome because we are human beings. We like to depend on other people. We like to depend on other things. But sometimes God eliminates, removes those people, whether they are things, whether they're anything that's thwarting our growth. So it is a dangerous thing to fully depend on someone or on something. Because if God really wants you to grow, and it's his nature, he wants all of us to grow in all the areas of our lives. So if you continue to depend on some things, God can decide to remove those things. So it's a wake up call to us. To wake up call to us. So I was just looking at the smaller carrots that haven't been growing so well that I'm removing, so that they can pave way for the ones that have been doing well ever since. And it really got me thinking um, about some things that really happen in life. I was just looking at this scenario whereby your cousins maybe have lost their parents, then they move. in. Have you ever realized that those guys, when they come in, they take the bigger responsibilities, the heavier responsibilities, and they tend to grow. Not only do they grow when they are actually still in your homestead, but actually even in life when they go out there, they have a tendency of doing better than the legitimate people who were pampered and were left not to do anything. I've seen families like that. When their cousins, they come from somewhere, then they are treated as slaves. Sometimes they are treated as servants. Then the guys, the legitimate people who have been there, they are left to grow, to be weak people who do nothing, who just depend on those guys. To the extent that they don't even spread their own bed, they don't even clean their house, they don't even clean the place. They don't even, if it's a rural setting, it's even more harder because these are the guys who go and fetch water from far. These are the guys who go and take firewood from far. These are the guys who go on cattle herding. They don't even enjoy holidays. They'll be just doing the hard stuff. But these guys, they tend to grow. Just like imagine in this carrot bed. I planted these carrots on the same day. I gave them the same manure, the same amount of water. But some carrots did grow. They did better than the others. They decided to take up the challenge. This is what even happens in life. So those cousins who were treated bad, they tend to grow in life. So this is what happens. Those who decided not to grow, who just decided to take a back seat and do nothing about it, they do not grow. Even in church settings, even at workplaces. Have you ever seen that there are people who do not work when who only work when the supervisors are there? Then there are those who are always hardworking, whether the supervisor is there or not. But because God is faithful, He tends to raise those who even do good, even when no one is monitoring them. This is the reality of our lives. I don't know the kind of life that you grew up with, but if you can relate to the lifestyle that I'm talking about, of those who have been given much tasks so as to demoralize them, so as to make them suffer, actually they do better in life. They tend to do better because they take that as training, and they tend to flourish in their lives. Folks, let's do better even when no one is monitoring us. Let's take up tasks, whether it's at workplaces, whether it's in church. Let's take up tasks not because we want to be seen, but because we want to grow. I hope, guys, you grow in your area of specialization. I hope you grow in your family, you grow at your workplaces, you grow at your church, you grow wherever you go. So that when the time of elimination comes, you'll be found standing. And you know what? One of these days, when Jesus comes back, some of us are going to be eliminated. Some of us are going to be found standing. It's my hope. It's my hope that I myself will be found not wanting, but will be that one person who will be spared, just like I'm sparing some of the carrots in this bed. And I'm eliminating some of the carrots. I hope that just that one person will be found standing on the right side. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this channel. Please, I said please, subscribe to this channel so that I can continue to share with you the lessons that I'm getting as I'm doing my gardening. Thank you so much. Have a great and a wonderful day. May God bless you. For now, it's goodbye.